Welcome to Uncle Joey's Joint. Today, I'm my co-host today, and my main man is my brother. I love him with all my heart. This guy inspires me. He's a great author, Mr. TJ English. What's happening, brother?
Joey, how you doing? Nice to be out here in Jersey.
Yes, nice down here in the farmland.
Yeah.
We can go get a pig after this.
Can breathe out here.
It's wide open, isn't it?
I thought I just came from my place in downtown Manhattan, went through the tunnel, come over here, all of a sudden the sky opens up and you can breathe. I felt like I'm in the country.
It is. I picked this area because my brother lives in Morganville, and I was in shock on how he had a fish company. He still does. He would leave his house at 4, go to the Fulton Fish Market, and then we'd deliver fish till 1, and we'd be in Morganville by 2 o'clock. We'd go through his garage, we'd take showers because we stunk like fish, and then we'd jump in the pool, and he'd put the fish from the day on the grill while we were swimming. And I'm like, how can you be in the world's best city in 1 minute, and then you're down you're in mountains? Like, this is different. It's not like going down the shore. It's nothing like that. This is farmland. I'm next to Colts Neck, and that's Queen Latifah, that's Bruce Springsteen, that's a bunch of people. But when you drive in Colts Neck, those people have horses. They got everything. You know what I found out? I did not know this, and a lot of people are not going to know this. New Jersey's the state with the most fucking horses.
Yeah.
I had no fucking idea that there's more horses here than fucking anywhere. So and I'm going to tell you the truth. You want me to tell you how I ended up here? Let me tell you a weird story and I've never told anybody this, only the TJ understand. When I was a kid, I was a Santeria kid, and I was involved, and I used to go to all the eatings and the chicken killings and shit. Do you know where they got their animals from? Marlboro. Because I remember still being a kid and going, you go to Marlboro, isn't that a cigarette? Like it used to be a cigarette,
Right.
And then to add more to this, when I was about 13, I used to come down here every weekend to the Englishtown Raceway, funny cars, and then they have the Englishtown Flea Market, where it's everything stolen, from CD play, from not CDs in those days, from 8-track players to. So I would come down here on the weekends and buy limousines for the feet, Julius Erving sneakers. They were like $5, and I would take them up north and sell them for 21.
Yeah.
So it's like I have a connection to this area in the weirdest way, but the Santeria connection is just.
Oh man, if you get us started on that again, remember when we were on Rogan's show? I still get people come up to me and say, "I can't believe you had a abattoir ceremony on the Rogan show," because we got off on that. But that's what got me into Latin music, Latin jazz, which I love, really was by way of hearing it through Santeria ceremonies, the drum playing, the chanting, all that kind of stuff. And when you hear that, when they take that element of Afro-Cuban music and they feed it into American jazz, that's my sweet spot, man. That's the music I love.
Is that like Ka-Chow and those guys?
Yeah.
I have an album here that I really love. This is my all-time. Like people always say, the Bella Vista Country Club, whatever the fuck
Bella Vista Social Club.
Not for me. I like this shit from the 60s that I have.
With
Ka-Chow on bass, and I fucking taped it in an apartment. It sounds like a fucking apartment.
Yeah. That's the best. You ever hear of Chano Pozo?
Fuck yeah.
Chano Pozo?
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
The percussionist, the conga player, he got murdered at the age of 33 by his marijuana dealer.
Wow.
Dizzy Gillespie went down to Havana, Cuba, and heard about him. They told him there's a conga player in Havana that plays in the traditional Santeria style. In fact, he was a babalao in a strain of the religion called Lekumi.
Lekumi,
yeah.
Local meat.
Yeah, and so Dizzy Gillespie went down there in the late 40s and got him and brought him to the United States and used him in an orchestra that played at Carnegie Hall with Charlie Parker and a guy named Chico O'Farrell, who was Cuban-Irish, who was one of the founders of this music, Latin jazz. and they debuted at Carnegie Hall, and it changed the course of American music. And Chano Pozo was 32 years old at the time, and this guy was perched on the edge of a mega career, and then he got murdered by his marijuana dealer in Harlem one afternoon. Great tragedy for
Now
the
Dizzy worked with a lot of Cubans.
He did, yeah.
He really liked the Cubans.
Machito, Mario Bauza. Mario Bauza is a very important figure in the history of jazz in general. Mario Bauza came up here in like the 30s and went to work in Dizzy Gillespie's orchestra in the 30s, and he hipped Dizzy Gillespie to Cuban music. And that's when Latin music started working its way into jazz. All the rhythms of Afro-Cuban music started to change the direction of jazz. And that shit, you listen to that today, it's as fresh as if it was just created yesterday. That's how
it sounds great.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah.
I didn't know. Listen, I love the Afro-Cuban thing.
Yeah.
It's something that you can't talk about it, really. It's not like you meet your friends on the corner and go, have you heard the last ta-ta-ta? It's something that I grew up listening to and I really liked. I love Santeria music, and I still play it in the mornings on Mondays to salute the saints and shit. I still play it. But the Afro-Cuban, it's done, like the Afro-Cuban whole thing it's such a culture that I can't even explain it. Like I'm stuttering because I cannot, it's done so much in so many ways. Like those slaves going through Cuba built such, I'm watching something on Netflix now about a 12-episode Cuban thing. It's tough to watch at times, but it's slow, it's fucking slow, but Cuba just had this Afro rhythm thing, and I'll tell you, my uncle's dark skinned, and they didn't like dark skinned people in Cuba. Yeah. And he'll tell you now, when he was 7, a guy made a dog piss on him because he was darker skinned. Mm-hmm. I talk about racism in America. Mm-hmm. Racism in Cuba is horrible. But till now, we talk, once a week, and he'll laugh. He'll go, I didn't know my luck would change when that dog would piss on me. If I knew what I knew now, I would have had him piss on me even more. You know what I'm saying? But it changed baseball. It changed music. Shit. It changed
music and athletics. Yeah,
athletics, like the way people think. Like I get a thing every once a year from some jerk off that listened to a podcast about I didn't like the racism. Dog, there was no racism. I grew up, having all that around me. When you're Cuban, there's no racism. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. The first time I saw my cousins, I fucking ran in the room and locked the door because I swear to God, my mom was pissed at me for like a week. She's like, that's your family. I go, they can't be. What am I, adopted?